Welcome back, everybody, to a new episode of Valkyrie Profile. So we're gonna go to the Tombs of Amenti, just like I promised. See, I'm not a liar. This dungeon's gonna be a bitch, but not for any reason like Arcane Ruins was a bitch. This dungeon's a bitch because it's interesting and there's shit happening in it. Although there are a lot of that shit happening again. That was not English. There is a lot of that shit happening again. Okay. So, let's just see what we can do here. Frigid Damsel, and then Absolute Zero. So in my opinion, yeah. Oh man, I gave John a really fucking powerful sword. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so the Frigid Damsel becomes Absolute Zero, which is way better than what Icicle Edge becomes, even though Icicle Edge is much better. It's a much better spell. And we got both our katana users here, so that's pretty neat, right? But ultimately, yeah, I'm just... Yeah, God, I really... Her voice is way too quiet. Yeah, a lot of Mistina's voice samples you just can't hear. But yeah, there's the Eye of Heaven, so... Go ahead and convert that, even though for this dungeon I'll probably wish that I hadn't. There's nothing else in here, I don't think. No? The fuck was that? I don't think I've ever heard that in this music before. Did I hear that right? It sounded like something going, oi! Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of treasure hidden above these doors. This dungeon's probably going to take several episodes. It is by far the longest dungeon in the main story. Just now in the menu I was debating whether or not I should give Valkyrie a scout orb. A scout orb will keep you from getting like, not back attacked, but you know what I mean, like, it'll make sure that you get a preemptive strike. But, all in all, it's still not completely reliable. No, I don't need that. Dude, seriously? These mummies are the worst. Even though they're technically like, they're like cyclopses. So the first episode of this is up, and so far it's going alright, although I know that I'm gonna really struggle to go through here and find all the places where the screen glitches out or whatever. I'm only gonna I'm gonna try and only cut out the stuff that is what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, this dungeon has 2 flame jewels, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this dungeon has 2 flame jewels to make up for the fact that the Clockwork Mansion back in Chapter 3 didn't have one. And then to make up for the fact that Chapter 1 doesn't even have a hard mode dungeon, Chapter 8 has 2. Thankfully, one of them is really short, and the other one's just kind of medium length. I think both of them combined probably add up to less than this right here. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. But this dungeon is, what was I gonna say? Well, I'm not awake yet. I've been trying to record all week, and I just keep getting distracted or not. I don't know. It's kind of hard to motivate. I don't know why. This weekend I've just been, I don't know. I haven't really had a bad weekend. It's just, oh god. Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit in here. Oh man, god damn it. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Oh man. Not liking this.
To my side, my noble Einherjar.
One nice thing is we are going to get a lot of nice experience from, well, all of this. Yeah. Oh, these wizard guys, I forget what it is, but like, you really don't want to kill everybody in front of them because Fiendish Shape, that's the name of the attack. Yeah, they have an attack called Fiendish Shape it's not magic, so you can't reflect it. And it's also not what am I trying to say? It's not, like, it's considered a magic attack, but it's not reflectable or blockable by any of the means normally used to protect against regular magic spells. Whatever that means. And it hits everybody and it does a lot of damage, so you just generally don't want none of that. Don't want none of that life. Yeah.
You have served me well, my Einherjar.
So I had an interesting, so any of you who've watched any of my playthroughs with Ginsu, you know that he's a very hardcore communist, and I
By the laws of heaven, you shall be cleansed.
I've come to believe that, you know, communism is, or some form of it, maybe not what a lot of people's idea of it is, but some form of it, certainly. Ideally, to my way of thinking, like a more futurist version, something that's more technologically and ideologically with the times, is the answer. But really, like, if you want to adhere to a form of communism or socialism today, and you also want some kind of organizational structure for that and some sort of infrastructure within which to practice it, I've come to realize that really your only option is Trotskyism or other versions of it. And you know, any number of variations on it or whatever. They're the only people that have, like, you know, an actual party that sometimes has like presidential candidates and, you know, things like that, and they actually have like an organizational structure and they do stuff. And to think that would be my only option, or anybody's only option for really kind of taking belief in such an ideology to that level, to that next step, really depressed me. And so I was like, is there anything under than, because I mean, I know Ginsu and I have talked at length about it before, but I don't think we've really ever gone into why we dislike it so much. I mean, and I think maybe we might have slightly varying reasons for why we dislike it, but I think we both can agree that it's very dogmatic. It's like, you know, you must be this tall to be a communist, and you must believe these things, and nothing less than 100% of these things. And, like, it has to be these things in the way that we say it. Otherwise, it's not real communism or whatever, or it's not, otherwise you're a filthy liberal or a filthy whatever, and you're just, you know what I mean? Like, I guess it's kind of hard to really... It's like there was this idea that one of the big differences between the ideal picturesque version of communism and how communism has happened so far in the world has been the idea of socialism in one country. I can't remember. I feel like Trotsky was the first one. It was either Trotsky or Marx that said that. I can't remember which one it was. And I know if Trotsky said it, he was much more like demanding about it. I think Marx may have implied it, but I don't think he said it to that fundamentalist of a degree. What the hell is that thing, and why did it appear as a dog? There's this idea that you know, if one country goes socialist, they are going to be basically an island in hostile territory. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, all the other capitalist countries, I mean, they're not going to work with them. They're going to seek to, you know, take advantage of them or outright bomb them. Might even be us that bombs them if they got enough brown people. So it's this idea that it can't work and that, you know, a revolution has to be international and worldwide or not at all. And I found that idea to be really... I couldn't tell why I didn't like it. And basically it because of that idea, like, every country is expected to act... There's a lot of booby traps in here. Every country is expected to act in a certain way with regards to xenophobia and nationalism, with no real consideration for anything, you know, that might... I had this revelation talking about Israel, because, like, one of the latest distraction from a lot of other issues. I mean, it's not the latest. It's one of the things that certain people on the far left will tell you to focus on, and it's one of those things that, like, extreme far left and extreme far right agree on, but for different reasons. I hope. Far right agrees on it because they hate Jews, and far left agrees on it because they... when I say far left in this context, I mean Trotskyism. Trotskyism agrees on it because to be pro-Zionist would be to be pro-nation state, to be pro, you know, borders and countries. And Trotskyism doesn't like that. I mean, communism doesn't like that in general, but they're very different in their, like, it's just, there could be no excuse for it, no matter what the context. Everybody's expected to just kind of, like, give this shit up and, you know, seize the means and, you know, erase their borders, pretty much. And it's like, you know, there's no way you can possibly expect that to happen in every country. So I read this paper on this site. I didn't read all of it. I read like a quarter of it. It was very, very academic and very difficult to get through. I'm proud of myself for getting as far into it as I did. And it's not that I didn't get far into it because I didn't like it. It was just very, very academic. And even when I was in college, I always hated writing research papers. But it made a really good point, and it was basically that to demand socialism everywhere simultaneously precludes the notion that, you know, right now things are unequal. You know, you got really dirt poor countries and you got really fucking rich countries, or people whose people are very rich, and then you've got countries whose government is very rich. It's not the same. Like the United States, our people are very rich. Our government is very poor. Although the people that work for our government are rich. I mean, well, not all of them. People that work for the executive branch of government are rich. There we go. And I suppose the legislative branch as well. I don't know about the judicial branch. And I don't know what branch, like TSA workers and DMV workers and postal workers, I don't know what branch of government they fall under. Poor bastard branch, I think. You know, which is a shame because they work hard too. It's just they're kind of like thrown under the bus because they're technically government employees, but it's like, you know what, they're people too. They're not, I'm gonna take yeah, it precludes this idea of like there being varying levels of ripening conditions for the overthrow of capitalism. In some countries it's weaker, and some countries it's stronger, and it's like, okay, well, that's, you know, that's all good and everything, but so this puzzle right here, you need that gem for something, but when you take it, it closes the door. So you just go like this. Bam. And now the door's open. Although, maybe I should have waited, I think. I feel like there's event experience that I get for that. No, it was already open, okay. There's no treasure in here, so... Need a drink real quick. God damn it. I can't believe I did that again. Sorry. Sorry. Alright. Yeah, it ignores the idea that some countries may get to socialism first, and it probably won't be successful, but they'll probably be able to hold out on some version of it, on some level of progress on it, for, you know, a fairly decent period of time, up until, you know, the rest of the world catches up. And that's not, you know, some different, no, right now countries aren't equal. That is why they want to get rid of them, right? You know, it's why you don't want that, you know, eventually. It's just like one of those things where it's like, you know, okay, like it has to happen this way or not at all. Well then, not at all is what's gonna happen. It's just like when you set standards that high and don't allow for it doesn't make your beliefs any less, you know, it doesn't make you any less steadfast in your beliefs. It just means that you're realistic, and, you know, being a realist is not capitalist. You know, it's paying attention to, you know, it's really difficult to even articulate, but all I knew is that, like, shit felt dogmatic to me, and I needed to know why. And I found a lot of decent reasons for that. I mean, I don't know who wrote this paper. He was definitely Eastern European. I can tell by his name. And he's... I'm not 100% sure when it was written, but I know it was written at the very earliest in the 70s or the 80s. Because there were references to things. It referred to, you know, what happened in World War II and World War I. It referred to those in very much the past tense. And then at one point there was also a reference to 1960-something. So I know it occurred at least that far it was at least... You guys know what I mean. But I thought he made some very good points. I was just like, is there any audience out there for like a different kind of communism, or does it have to be purists that basically guarantee that it will never happen because of their insistence that it be done a certain way? Because that's what it feels like. You know, it's like, God damn it, John, Jesus, God, sometimes I hate you. I'm not going to counterattack that. I would have just gotten hit. Nice. That was a lot of back and forth there.
It was their karma to die as such.
And it's just like, you know, I asked one of them to define, you know, their whole thing for me, and it was like, you know, we want to teach people that we are all one people in one class, and that, you know, boundaries of gender, sex, orientation, race, religion are really just there, really only serve to divide us. I mean, we're all one working people. We want to teach people that, and we want to fight against nationalism, imperialism, xenophobia, and everything else capitalist, you know, and all of that at every turn. And I was like, well, we got a long way to go on that first one, don't you think? Don't you think it should be a priority? And he was like, you know, how do we accomplish any of those other things before accomplishing that first thing? And he was like, you know, those other things cannot exist in capitalism. I mean, no, they can, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. I knew I disagreed, but I didn't know why. I mean, it's not because I believe, you know, capitalism is good and that those good things can exist in it, but I knew I disagreed with him, but I didn't know why. And so I went and did some research, read some papers, and I was like, you know, this is why. You know, because shit can happen unevenly and still be progress. You know what I mean? Just because half of the world is socialist and half of it isn't, doesn't mean, oh well, fuck the people that actually made it. We have to be doing it all at once. So, you know, fuck you guys. It's pretty much the shit that I got. And I know, like, anyone who's not into socialism or communism is probably gonna be like, whatever the fuck. But I think I actually have to start accepting that that's gonna be a wider audience of people. Because, man, people are not happy lately with capitalism. My belief is in something that hasn't really been defined yet, I don't think. And that is basically an iteration of communism that properly factors in the accomplishments that we've achieved as a species since World War II. You know, because I'm pretty sure Marx said that, you know, there is a degree and a level of, and granted we passed this level back in like the 90s and the 80s, but that's when it happened. There is a level of capitalism to which you want to get to in order to establish fertile ground for socialism, and we passed that like a decade or two ago. Now we're in like straight up oligarchy, corporatism, you know, just capitalism at its most raw form. And I think, you know, a lot of people do realize that. But like, you know, I wanted to believe in something that was a little bit more enlightened, a little bit more flexible. You have to be flexible. I mean, shit changes. I mean, none of the people... Are we gonna swear by everything that spilled from the mouths of... From the mouths of Marx, Trotsky, Lenin, and all of them just forever? No matter what changes in the present? And I didn't think so. So I went looking and I found some stuff. And well, it's a really good paper. It's called On Trotskyism, and I found it on a site called Marx to Mao. And that site is not at all intended, based on reading around a little bit, it's not at all intended to be like, we should go from Marx to Mao, or Mao is good. Let's get away from Marxism and go to Maoism. Not at all to say that. It was more just like, it's like this is website, and it's made by a scholar, and he basically just wants to document every, you know, every writing that anybody ever made about any communist or claiming to be communist leader. So like, there's writings in there about Stalin and Mao too, even though they weren't really communist. I think, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure that this is true, but I think there is, you know, a subset in communism today that believes, not that Stalin and Mao are like, you know, were good rulers or decent people, or that even that communism should have a ruler, because it, you know, honestly shouldn't. But where's Poison Blow? Where's Poison Blow? Where's Poison Blow? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? God damn it! I don't have it. Lightning Bolt. Man, that sucked. Well, at least I fainted them. I think it's more just a matter of completion, for completion's sake. Like, you know, they're not gathering up just the good stuff about it. They're gathering up everything about it, and everything that was written about it. Both, you know, critique and affirmation, and, you know, sort of case studies. I mean, I don't know. The point is, there's stuff on the site that's written... The stuff that's on the site isn't all written by one person. The site, yes, is owned by one person, but everything that is documented there are papers written by all manner of authors, on all manner of topics and people. I actually thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know, I'm still very much ideologically flexible. My mind is like always changing with new information. I mean, you know, like, what, 6 years ago, I didn't think Obama was that bad of a guy. I still, like, had problems with him and whatever, and understood things about him that maybe not everyone else wanted to come to face with. Nowadays, like, I still think he's an okay guy as a person. Like, he probably meant well, but man, he did some fucked up shit that I, you know, and I would not. And he was not in any way even kind of socialist. He was straight up, he was almost right-wing. I mean, you know. And when I say right-wing, I mean right-wing as the world understands it, not as the United States understands it, which is incredibly skewed. You know, his policies weren't really that different from Bush overall. I mean, he spoke a lot differently. He definitely, he did a much better job at you know, paying lip service to the right people. He is much better at putting people's minds at ease. Other than that, I mean, you know,
You have served me well, my Einherjar.
I don't know, I'm always prepared to change my mind if somebody's got, like, you know, if somebody speaks to me in such a way as to, I don't know. You know, people are very, a lot of people really want to just be able to just scream why you're wrong at you. But honestly, like, if you really want to change people's minds, the whole, like, you attract more flies with honey thing, man, it's true. Like, you talk to somebody like they're your intellectual equal, and it's shocking what you can convince them of, whether they are your intellectual equal or not. Like, a lot of people want to understand things. It's just a matter of whether or not you believe that. And if you can let yourself believe that for long enough to explain it to them like they're a human being and not a, you know, brick, then a lot of times they'll see the logic in what you're saying. And just so many people are so bad at that. They just think they've got it figured out, and they're just completely static as people. It's like they just think that they're, you know, it's like in this game when they were talking about, like, Odin being, you know, gods being static. You know, gods do not grow there, but are static. However, you know, because Odin was half elf, he was able to grow. You know, which is of course bullshit, but you get what I mean. Like, if you want to be fixed in your beliefs, that's fine, but people that are willing to not bend and not make concessions, not, you know, not remain, none of that is to say, like, don't remain true to your beliefs, don't, you know, don't cut corners. It's not that at all, but, like, understand what, you know, unless you've got another solution, be prepared to make concessions based on context, you know, because some things the world just may not be ready for, and some things may happen, like, differently than you perceive them to hopefully, you know, happen the way you want them to.
By the laws of heaven, you shall be cleansed.
And it's just some people are so convinced they've got it 100% right that they will just turn down any progress whatsoever if it's not 100% the way they pictured it happening. Ouch, that hurt. Motherfucker. Which to me that just strikes me as tragic. Because it's like you don't know it, but you're basically guaranteeing that what you hope happens for the sake of the rest of the world and everybody in it, you're basically guaranteeing that it's not gonna happen. Because, I mean, you won't give it a fighting chance. You know, it just seems ridiculous.
Our work here is done. Let's go.
Let's go. I love that we fought, what was his name? King, what was his name? Barbarossa. Oh god. Like, what a ridiculous name. What an unfortunate name for a king, too. I mean... Do you really want, like... Would you really want a king named Barbarossa? Like, if you wanted a king at all. Did I just stone one of these motherfuckers? Hell yeah, look at that. Undead slave. Not mummy. Undead slave. Damn. Put a fine point on it, why don't you?
Mystic crop.
That whip around slash never fucking hits. Just never hits. Never works. I think I need to change the order of his attacks.
Still no match for me.
Because I gave him a sword. That's what happened. So, like... Jun and Suo are the only two katana users in the entire game. But there are certain swords that they can equip too. Like, they can equip all the Slayer weapons. They can equip the like, death weapons. The elemental death weapons. And the Flamberg for some reason. And this Wassail Rapier. Whatever. I don't know. But they can, yeah, and so they can equip this. And I think whenever you equip somebody with a different kind of weapon that can use a different kind of weapon, it, I don't get it. We'll try this for now. Let's see how it works. Oh, and I wanted to change Mistina's spell because I was tired of using Frigid Damsel. Let's do... Yeah, let's do this. This will be really good for the dungeon too. What we got here? A unicorn horn! No shit! Oh, dude, that's awesome. That actually, no, that actually really is awesome. I need to go through and see if there's a... The reason that's awesome is because I don't need a second one, so I can transmute that one and get a lot of MP. Or not MP, but you know what I mean. I can convert. I've started just... Yeah, I'll just convert these when I have too many. Yeah, so there's that. And yeah. Pretty good. Another glare sword, nice. I forget what that becomes with the gem. I have my little text file closed with the guide in it. I've really mostly had it pulled up so that I could check what all this shit converts into. Because I honestly don't remember that well. Okay. Jewel, and then we'll come over here, and I already have several. You know what? Whatever. Actually, it doesn't do me any good to make more than 30 of these, or more than 30. What am I saying? More than 4 of them. What does it become without anything? Oh, god damn it! Earring of healing. I mean, I guess. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, well, let me convert that fucking... Where is it? Where are you? Actually, let me hold off. Let me convert it when I actually need it. I'm gonna leave it there for now. And then what was I doing? Oh yeah, I need to put the Coin of Fortune back on. we go. Alright. So, you know, we're not getting the same kind of mad experience that we were getting with Badrak and Lucian in the party, and I didn't want to be using Badrak constantly, because against certain enemies you will feel it, you know, having to deal with using him. Because he really doesn't do very much damage at all. Against big enemies, his normal attacks can do, you know, a good bit of damage. But yeah, but it doesn't make up for his shitty password. His shitty PWS. They had it coming to them. We're like maybe a quarter of the way through the dungeon. Yeah, it's no joke. Oh shit, I hope that's still enough. Okay. I was like, I hope that's enough to fill the gauge. I couldn't remember if his only did 30 or 20. Because I really wanted to do this Celestial Star and hopefully destroy everything in front of me. Yeah.
Freaks have no reason to exist.
That is a lot of damage.
Have I made a terrible mistake?
If you don't know that his sister's name is I, that can be confusing. I actually don't know if anybody remembers that. Anybody remembers Jun's story from earlier? Yeah, his sister's name is I. It's not actually the direction I wanted to go. Damn it.
To my side, my noble Einherjar.
No matter who the opponent, I shall not yield.
It shall be engraved upon your soul. Divine assault.
Oh god, I hate this last step. It really is annoying. It's too much fanfare for not enough damage. Ooh. Yeah, damn. That hurt. What a fucking asshole. Fuck you, turtle thing. That's totally not what a basilisk looks like. They're not turtles.
Mugen no Kensen. Blade art. Senko Jin. Now your future is emptiness.
Their souls have been released. We have no reason to remain here.
No reason at all. Bitch.
To my side, my noble Einherjar.
No matter who the opponent, I shall not yield.
Lightning bolt.
Damn it, I did not need to attack that much. I love the way they're like not they the two of them are actually shockingly good at knocking shit back and forth. I really gotta change her fucking counterattack. That one's awful.
Have I made a terrible mistake?
I don't know. Has he? That's mean. I shouldn't make fun of her name. That's just what a horribly misleading name. I mean, who names their child that? You're gonna name your child I? How will anybody know who you're talking to? Or about? Know what I mean? This seems like it's asking for trouble. Right now, I think. No. Damn it! I've already been in there. Fuck. Where do I need to? Okay. So that little gap that is in. See how it's got the two down arrows coming out of it, like pretty much right in the middle of the map, right there. That little rectangular room at the very bottom. So there's a room above that that's a shaft, like the one we just left, and then the room above that square room, a little bit to the left, I think, is another room with a gem in it. One of the ones that's like on a pedestal or whatever. I think. I hope. Actually not sure. We'll find out. Jesus. Yeah, if this room looks ridiculous, it's because it is. But we're gonna figure out this on the next episode because we're more or less at time now. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. I'm gonna kill this guy off screen, and I'll see you guys next time. Sorry for the political rant. Sorry if I'm a filthy communist and that makes you not like me, but I believe in everything for everybody. So, because I believe that, enjoy this episode and enjoy the next one, and I'll see you then. Later.